It really is a good day at the Bet-Victor Championship League. Ronnie O'Sullivan is out on the table. Sean Murphy is in the commentary box alongside me, and we've had plenty of stuff to talk about. Next up, by the way, on table one, the final match of this session, Elliot Slessor remains in action against Jack Jones. If he could go into that match with a win over O'Sullivan, that would be a real boost.
Yeah, I'm sure Ronnie will be slightly annoyed there. He collided with the yellow. It's left Elliot with a look at this long red. Is he trying to get through the gap for the black into the same pocket? Well, you can see he didn't play that. Sort of tried to cover his bets there a little bit and play with an element of safety. Might have been better going for it full-bloodedly. Might have got closer to it. Anyway, it's out of his hands now. He's given this opportunity to Ronnie. Red pots to middle and corner. I'm sure he'll play it to the corner. Nicely played. And it has to be said, Phil, it's one of the elements of Ronnie's game that doesn't get talked about at all, because he plays so fluently with his opposite hand and was the sort of first, I suppose, player to do that. Of course, Dennis Taylor and a few others had done it. Ronnie, you know, I suppose it's not quite accurate to say he was the first to play with the opposite hand, but he's certainly the best. People forget how good he is with the rest. He's actually one of the game's strongest with the rest. He just uses it so infrequently. You don't see it.
Well, if you're saying that, Sean, you're very well qualified to talk about people's ability with the rest, because when it comes to the conversation who is the very best, you're always in it.
I mean, obviously, he's not as good as myself and Kyron, but, you know, he's okay. I think he's got a future.
Modest Murphy.
Thank you.
What was really interesting here this week, Sean, and I picked up on this right from the get-go, even though he won Group 6 and played nicely in the end in the final, Kyron Wilson yesterday, for the most part, was struggling. But his rest play never deteriorated, while the rest of his game was suspect. Until the final, his rest play was out of this world.
Of course, I am told, though, now that Kyron's no longer the best rest player in his house. I believe that one of his boys is a very good player and extremely good with that implement as well. There's quite a bit of footage on his socials with his family, which is nice to see. But Kyron, very, very strong in all areas. Along with myself and a few others, he's not had the greatest of seasons. And I'm sure he'll have more than one eye on Sheffield. It's only a matter of time before Kyron picks up one of the Triple Crown events. Meanwhile, Ronnie back in full flow, as we're so used to seeing that cue ball on a dime. Lovely shot there, played for one of two reds, was always going to be on red to left middle, underneath the pink, overhit, he's on this one. Plays that shot better than anyone. Plays it on and off the cushion. Trying to keep that cue ball, searching for the middle to give himself options. That wasn't by luck, that was by design. And again, controlled that cue ball beautifully.
46.
A choice of reds.
47.
It looks like another decider's on the cards, Phil.
I think his money's worth.
54.
I know, Sean, you're good pals with Mark Selby. Did you speak to Mark after he'd beaten Ronnie? Because it wasn't just the result, it was the way it was achieved. I thought it was magnificent from Selby.
I didn't, but
62.
I just think, you know, you write Mark Selby off at your peril, don't you?
63.
And of course, having grown up with him, you're just never surprised to see him play like that. He's been playing like that since we were boys. Four-time world champion, won everything there is going. And of course, there's the frame ball here in this frame. Here we are going all the way in this match. But yeah, Mark last week against Ronnie was irresistible.
71.
A lot of players coming into good form just at the right time of year, Phil. Being for a very interesting Crucible campaign this year.
Impossible
78.
to call.
$79. $86.
Clearly, O'Sullivan doesn't like the number 1242, so wants another century.
$94.
Now he was looking at that again. Maybe that ball, as you suspected, Sean, is tapering up towards the far jaw.
$100.
Three figures up for Ronnie O'Sullivan for the second time in the match. But it's far from one. It's going all the way.